All right, so I really want to, anyway, hey, I'm Charlene. Welcome to my channel, Shark Roses. And today we're going to be talking about a movie called 2073. And I just watched this movie, and it is produced by Neon, and the director is Asif, I don't know how to say his name, Kapadia. I'm sorry if I'm butchering his name. Like, I'm really sorry if I'm butchering his name. But I just watched this movie, and it is about a dystopian future. Well, really, it's about the dystopian present, if we're gonna be honest. Like, if we're gonna call it what it is. They saying dystopian future, I feel like, just to be safe. But well, if you really want to call it what it is, this is dystopian present. But whatever, we'll let it ride. I watched the trailer for it, and I was like, okay, cool. You know, I grew up on watching like sci-fi and all that kind of stuff, and you know, all those kind of movies, sci-fi, you know, movies and stuff and everything like that. But then they had my girl Samantha Morton in it, and I was like, I love her. That's my girl right there. Like, I love her. So I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna really watch it, because I grew up watching like a whole bunch of dystopian or utopian movies and stuff like that, and this is considered like a documentary / thriller. And but because she was in it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna give it a little watch or whatever. But the way that it just synchronized with the events that are happening right now as we speak. Hold on a second. Hold on. Lips is looking crazy. I need water. Okay. Am I back? I don't know if I'm back yet. Am I back? Wild. Anyway, I'm back. So this movie was really good. I'm like, you know, I need to do a review about this. Is my channel, so I'm gonna just do what I want to do. This is my damn channel. And a topic like this, I'm gonna title this Freedom versus Exploitation. That's what I'm gonna title this. And a lot of people right now, look, this is just some of the things. I'm passionate about humanity. I am passionate about humanity. As much as I, don't want to be. As much as I don't want to be passionate about humanity, I am passionate about humanity. And I'm not gonna lie, I do envy the Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk of the world, but not because of their money, but because I wish I had that type of callousness for the world. I wish I had that type of callousness for humanity. And I don't know what they've been through in their life, but I know what I've been through in my life. And I feel like what I've experienced, I have every excuse to have callousness against humanity as a whole. Like, I have every excuse to be a Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk and just say, damn the rest of y'all. And whatever I create, if some of y'all just end up working yourselves to death, then so be it. I wish I had them type of bones in me, but I don't feel like I have those type of bones in me. And a lot of people could be like, well, you just say that because you're not rich, and you don't have it in you because you're not rich. But it's like, I don't believe that. I feel like you know if you have that in you or not. You know if you have that in you or not. And I'm gonna make my point in a second. I'm gonna make my point in a second. So the movie, I explained, you know, the synopsis about what it is. You should definitely check it out if you've watched it. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. But I'm gonna just go off of what I got from the movie. They go into, like, they use a whole lot of real clips from media, like real clips from media. They don't use like a lot of actors. There's only like a handful, literally like a handful of actors in the movie itself, in the storyline itself. Other than that, they just giving you documentation. Like, it's literally a documentary for real. They just giving you a documentary of just literally all of the news and all of the journalists from all over the world that have spoken out against authoritarianism. I might be butchering that, yeah, but authoritarianism. And it goes through their journey of what happened to them and all of that or whatever, right? So they're definitely right when they say documentary. So what I got out of it was humanity. That's what I want to focus on. I don't want to the movie did a good job of focusing on power and control and all that good stuff. And then it ends with asking the question or trying to incite change from people. You know what I'm saying? But I want to focus more on the humanity part of it. And I literally wrote some notes, because while I was watching it, I had to pause a couple times to like allow my energy to like center so I don't get too all up in it. But then got to a part where Samantha Morton's character basically said what I want to title this, which was like, it comes a point where people have to decide what they want, which is freedom, justice, and equality versus systems of exploitation. And I was like, I'm writing notes now, and now I'm going to do a video, because that's exactly what the fuck I be saying. and I'm a black woman, a poor black woman in America. Don't nobody give a fuck about what I have to say. So in that way, I am a safe person. I'm safe because I'm not a threat to any authoritarian, because they're like, what the fuck is this poor black woman gonna do? No one gives a fuck about what she has to say. So I'm not really scared about putting a video out like this to the world, because they don't give a fuck about me anyway. And they really don't give a fuck about y'all either. Some of y'all who swear up and down they do. But whatever. So they use the technology, right? There's a whole new wave of powers. And there's the tech bros. They are the tech bros, own these companies that got way more power than all the governments combined, right? Okay, cool. They're the new kings of the world. They're the new Caesars of the world. We get that. So my thing and where I want to focus on is humanity as a whole, giving these people this power. People give these people this power because they agree with them. That's my stance on it. I feel like it's not just, oh, well, what are we gonna do? You know, they made their money, you know, they made products, or they made this, they made that, they made their money fair and square. That's not the issue. The issue is they don't pay their fair share in taxes. Let's start there. Why are they not paying their fair share in taxes? Why are they making up laws so they don't have to pay taxes on these companies that they own? Ain't nobody gonna ask any questions about that. They're like, well, it's the law. Well, it wasn't the law last year. It wasn't the law 100 years ago. Don't we got laws about monopolies? Laws are made up. So why you can't make up a law to say that, okay, and yesterday you didn't pay taxes and guess what? Today you are. Now it's the law. Make it make sense. Like, when I say people give these people power, that's exactly what I mean. Because one minute humans are like, well, it's the law that their business that they own, yada, 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 they don't have to pay taxes. But you can also make up laws to make sure that they pay taxes, so that way the wealth isn't hoarded in one small few hands. Them making money and making billions of dollars is not the problem. But after a certain point, you don't need the rest of those billions. I'm just gonna be real. You don't need them. You don't need the rest of those billions. You don't need it. You're not even gonna live long enough to fucking use the rest of the billions. And it's not a like, oh, well, you just gonna dictate and take over somebody else's pot of money that they earned. The issue comes up later with the technology, and it's the back to the human issue, is that humans' jobs are being phased out. I don't got nothing against technology. Nothing against it. I am not a person that is with the fucking tree huggers of the world that are like, we need to go back to primitive living. I don't agree with that shit at all. I don't agree we need to go back to primitive living. We don't need to go back to primitive living. But there is a way that you can get humans to transition from what their life is right now to when their lives are going to change, because all of their jobs are going to go. The issue is humanity has new technology that phases out other people's jobs, old people's jobs, but they never prepare the people to adjust to the new way of life. They just drop them like a fucking newborn giraffe, and then all hell breaks loose. It's like they don't have a transitional phase. They just drop them. And that's when you get anarchy. That's when you get craziness going. I feel like people wouldn't have anything against AI taking over. They would have nothing against that if they had a plan to move towards something else. If they had a plan. Then my other biggest issue is that the wealth is being concentrated between very few hands, and then the people don't have any plans to transition them into something else. They're just leaving them by the wayside. The bigger issue is that these human beings are still fighting over food, shelter, and water. That's my biggest issue with humanity. I got beef with humanity as a whole, because why are you as a species still fighting over food, shelter, and water? And I put that down here, which is the technology. It talks about, y'all should definitely watch this documentary, because what I'm talking about makes way more sense. I'm just reacting too. I'm not telling the documentary itself. But they pointed out that, of course, we're in the information age, and they're using people's fears because they're watching us 24/7. They're watching us 24/7. You can't do shit without a phone now. You can't do shit without a smartphone now. They're using people's fears against them. Human beings, right? Everyone's basic fears, food, shelter, and water. Everything after that, we can figure that out later in therapy. But your basic fears, food, shelter, and water. Why the fuck is food, shelter, and water not free? And then people believe in this ideology that it shouldn't be free because people are going to be lazy. There are people right now that are lazy and food, shelter, and water is not free. They gonna do that. Lazy people gonna be lazy anyway. Lazy people are going to find a way in any system to be lazy. You don't need to, there are, and then, you know, there are people be like, well, you don't want to give them this and that because then they're gonna like be lazy and then like eat themselves to death or drug themselves to death. They're doing that anyway. There are people who are born rich or born middle class. They ain't never had to worry about a light bill. And guess what? They go out there, they go get on some drugs and they die. That's that's like a human issue. What I'm talking about is the basic necessities. And I feel like the problem is humanity has allowed themselves to believe in the fucking propaganda that they're being fed. Nobody ever asks themselves. People, I feel like salesmen, right, which are what billionaires and all that are, they're only giving you back to you. Great salesmen don't have to sell you anything. They just give you back to you. Because let a Jehovah's Witness come up to your doorstep. They could talk themselves till they blue in the face. No matter what they say to you, whatever they're saying does not resonate with you. So no matter what they say, they're never going to convince you to believe in what they believe in. But then let a car salesman or whoever else is selling something, if it resonates with you, you're going to buy it. Why? Because you already believe in it anyway. You just needed the opportunity for them to show up and give you back to you. Which explains why you have billionaires that exploit people and everybody walk around like it's okay because it's like, well, at least I'm not being exploited. And if you don't want to be exploited, well, just quit your job at Amazon. Why are you believing in a system that you even have to use this medium anyway? Why are you believing in a system that you have to use this medium to get your basic needs met? As a species, it's embarrassing. I'm talking about as a species. All right, fuck talking about nationality, race, fuck that shit. That's childish. Race, religion, nationality is fucking childish. That's childish. And it literally points out in the documentary how they use all of those things to distract everybody and keep everybody fighting. When in reality, all everybody fucking want is basic fucking fresh food, water, and shelter. Everybody want the same thing. You can have the same thing. Mathematicians, I'm not good at math, but the mathematicians, you need to go talk to them. They told me when I watched them talk about it, they said that the billionaires have enough money to go around for everybody to have all of their basic needs met. The reason why you don't have it is because they're hoarding it. They telling you where you can get your fresh food, shelter, and water from and not have to worry about rent. They telling you where it's at. But for some odd reason, humanity is like, well, no, that won't work because the system and then this and then the system and then that. A system that's fucking made up anyway. Which then leads me to the point that humanity itself does not want to evolve. Everybody in the spiritual community talking about some fucking, the Aquarian age is going to be the Aquarian age and then the ruling of the mind and all this bullshit. Yeah, the ruling of the mind. But there's a light and dark to all energy. There's a light and dark to all energy. All signs have a light side and a dark side. We just left the dark side of the Capricorn age. And the reason why it was the dark side of the Capricorn age is because humanity chose for it to be in the dark side of the Capricorn age. Capricorn got a good side to it too. But humanity don't want the good side of Capricorn. And I feel like it's going to be the same thing. Aquarius has a good side too. But humanity is making the choice to not embrace the good side of Aquarius. So you about to see the dark side of Aquarius. Because humanity does not want to believe that it can live in a different fucking system. Human beings have really bought into the idea, and it's very low vibrational on purpose. Humanity itself is stuck in its root chakra, and the root chakra is unbalanced. You a species, according to scientists, I'm not a scientist, but according to the scientists, they said this species has been around for around 300 and something thousand years. We have only been around for 300 and something thousand years. And we are about to literally go and stink like that within the next 200 years at the rate that we going. We about to go and stink. You lived and died quicker than any other fucking species that ruled this fucking planet. Because you can't get out of your own fucking way. You don't want nobody else to have food, shelter, and water. On the internet, and fuck the internet. Like, I've been having to get the fuck off of there, right? For a while. I moved over to Threads, because that one seems somewhat positive. But they about to end TikTok, which means all the toxic motherfuckers is about to flood Instagram and TikTok again. And just the negativity is crazy. But I know why everybody negative is because everybody is insecure about their basic needs, which then makes them feel rigid, like they can't share with the next person. And then they get online and just start flooding with the bullshit. But anyway, getting offline, right? Because there are people posting shit, saying shit like, oh, well, I have, you know, it's bots. They're probably real people saying this shit, but I'm gonna just say it's bots. But they get a lot of engagement, right? Of people just running back and forth with each other, arguing. But it'll be a post of someone saying like, oh, well, I have my own place. I have my shelter. I have my own shelter. I'm able to afford my own food, right? Basic needs. Basic needs. And their self-esteem comes from being able to say, I have my basic needs met, y'all don't. Like a post will say, I got my own place, my own car, I pay for all of my stuff, and y'all living at home with y'all parents. We all know the reason why majority of people are living at home with their parents. We don't need to explain that, right? But it'll start a whole fucking discord, right? People are living in their root chakra, holding on to their ego, just so they can say, I have my basic needs met, and y'all don't. And they agree with the system that they're in. That's made up. They agree with keeping the system that they're in, that they have to give up all of their waking hours. You're awake, but you're at work, working for a medium to afford these basic necessities. And you don't want the system to change because you don't want to figure out how to build your self-esteem on something else other than being able to trade your waking hours to afford basic necessities that Mother Earth never charged you for. Mother Earth never charged you to live in a cave, to shelter you from the rain, you know what I'm saying, from the snow. You can go stay in the cave. It didn't have no for rent sign on that fucking cave. When the fuck did the apple tree put a for sale sign in front of it? Mother Nature never charged you for none of this shit. When the fuck did the freshwater river put a $5 per bottle in front of it? But you believe in these systems, and then you think the system should stay that way because you don't want to figure out how to build your self-esteem on something else. So therefore, no, we shouldn't begin a whole new life with everyone's basic needs met. And then move in, hold on, Aquarius rules the mind. Move up the fucking chakras to figure out how to balance our minds. So now you got everybody still stuck in their unbalanced root chakra as a species. You're stuck in your unbalanced root chakra. But then you moving into an energy that rules the fucking mind, and you think that is not about to be unbalanced too as a species? But hey, you know, at least like maybe 3-4 of us got a balanced crown chakra, so fuck the rest of them. That's crazy as fuck. And it's embarrassing to be human right now. I'm gonna do a part 2 in a second.